well, this is the main startup screen of the software. It's the dataset description page. So we've got different features on it. So for example, well, the main software is laid out, I should point out, with tabs across the top that you can click on, and it'll take you to the various sections, but it starts from the dataset descriptions. Different features. So if we want the period of record of the data set, you can select the from and to date using the built-in calendar function, or you can just directly change it. It gives the website link, email address, the submitter, when it was submitted, which is automatically set to today's date. You can put in the version, dataset name. If you want to know the citation, you click that and the citation comes up. And also there will be built-in whichever models are available to look at will be available there. Scale is available as a drop-down menu to keep people consistent. There's just place for coverage notes, resolution, comments, different variables. If you want to insert a variable, you type it in, insert it, and it's there. You can select the data type, what the scale is. Likewise with crops, you can select the scale with that, all the way from molecular, whole plant, up to global, and livestock. If you've got livestock data, you should be able to select that as well. Place for your notes. This is at the bottom. This is where the user logs in. This hasn't been implemented yet, but then you would click Authenticate, it would log you in, and then this would say welcome, or say that you're logged in. These are the data sets that have been classified by people. This list will get populated from the cloud. When we have the entire data set put in, and you're logged in, you'll be able to sync this to the cloud, or save it to a file on your disk. This down here is where the overall rating is shown. This updates live as you're changing things, and it shows you both before and after the multiplier, and then gives you the estimated ranking and what the breakdown and what the different classification levels are. So if we go into management, the minimum data gets checked off. Now if there's minimum data selected and a value of, and the value of 0 is present, then we have to have the combined total drop rate to 0. The observations, as you'll see it as you change it, so that's increasing, is changing it here and down here. Okay, so let's do it again. Yeah, okay. Right now, the text in these boxes is just showing the JSON. That's just for testing. This will contain any notes that the user wants to write about this part of the data set. It can be any kind of rich text or HTML style text, or just plain text. Phonology, same thing. This box is temporary. Again, this shows the entire JSON output when you sync it to the cloud or save it to the file. That's just for testing. That'll be taken away. Again, you'll notice that when I change the points, And now I'm at 13. As soon as I drop below that, it changes the label. Anyway, previous crop, same thing. And again, the same here. It's just a little different. We've got depth observations and points. And you can see it's changing all the way down. Here's a bug. Yeah, I'll have to fix that. Okay. Yeah, that's weird. Anyway. Soil, again, is no different. It's the same. Site data, that's just observations by the weight. Here is, if it's not measured, it disables all of this and automatically puts this to a 0. So it has to be measured in addition to the minimum data requirement. Kilometers to site, and you'll notice that these are double spin boxes. They contain doubles. These single spin boxes without the decimal points, they're just integers. Right? When we get into the state variables, you got all your crop information here. The difference here is that the overall rating for state variables is here, but I am still giving a subtotal here just for the user. And it's split into crop, soil, surface fluxes, and observations. Now you'll notice that on some of these boxes are just grayed out, they're disabled because they're not used in the spreadsheet. I'll make them invisible when we're finally done, but I've left them in there for now in case the calculation method changes again. When we get into the seasonal stuff, again, it's just everything updates live. And here, if it's measured, yes, it gives the, but if it's no, yeah. You'll notice down here the total after the multiplier. So the multiplier is changing. So one thing that I need to check on is if the multiplier is less than 1, should that be able to bring down the overall rating? It does with this current setup. Right, so then the treatments, you can select what they are, and if you do select something that's there, if you have something that's not on the list, for now we're just going to go other, and then you can, this is the other, whatever it is, you can type it in, set your values, and carry on. Okay, so when we sync it to the cloud, let me just start with a fresh one so we get the right values here. Here's the spreadsheet. And bring this down here. Right, so we just basically There, yeah. And when we synchronize it to the cloud, we get this little synced engine Neo successful. Okay. And what that's done is it's actually communicated online with the back end as a service. And I'll just bring that up. Right, so if this is hosted at engine.io, and it's a free account, so I'll go ahead and log into that. This is the dataset ranking. It's a bit smaller, yeah. And so what there is there's these different object types, and this is the one that is created with to save the form. These are all the different object types. When we go into the actual objects, you see these hash names, but if you look at the time and date, the most current one is right on the top. So if you click on that, you can actually see the entire object that's listed there. And these are available, obviously, to pull off the cloud as well. So just to show you how that happens, I'll just take all of them out right now. And I didn't have to close that. Well, let's bring it back down. Okay, you can't see it all on the screen, so what I'll maybe do is like this. Okay, so when I click sync to cloud, and then it's successful. As soon as I click refresh there, here's our object. Okay. Now once we log in, it'll say who created it, who updated it, any details, etc., etc. We'll be able to do. Yeah. Yeah. Oh, it doesn't like it when it's big. Anyway, that's how that part of it works. Now when we click to save the file, we get a dialog box. You can save it to the desktop as and then I go to my desktop. There it is. All this gobbledygook is the stuff that was in the description, which is actually the JSON code, but that won't be there. As I say, that was just for testing, so that's all working fine. I think that's about it. Should we do that? Should we insert variables? Special screens. Yeah, that's good enough for now. Okay.